John chapter 6. After this going away, Jesus came into the territory beyond the Sea of Galilee, yea, of the city of Tiberias. But there followed him a many numerous throng, since they saw the signs which he did concerning those being weak. And going away, Jesus came into the mountain and sat down there with his learning ones. But the Passover was near, the feast of the Jews. Hence, Jesus lifting on up the eyes, and beholding that a many numerous throng comes to him, says to Philip, From where should we buy bread, so that these may eat? For this he said as one tempting him. But he had perceived what he was about to do. Hence Philip answered, Bread for 200 denarii does not suffice, so that each may take a little bit, yea, to take something. Then one out of his learning ones says to him, It was Andrew, the brother of Simon Peter. There is a small boy here who has 5 loaves of barley bread and 2 fish rations. But these, what are they into so many? Jesus said, Make not the human sit down. But there was much lying place in that place. Hence the men sat down, and the number was about 3,000. But Jesus took the bread and gave thanks, and gave it to those lying up to supper. Likewise he gave also out of the fish rations as much as they wanted. But when they were filled, he said to his learning ones, Lead together the broken pieces, having become abundant, lest something wholly loosen itself away. Hence they led together and laded 12 panniers with broken pieces out of the 5 loaves of barley bread, which were abundantly dispersed among those having been fed. Hence the human, having perceived what sign he did, said, This one is truly the prophet, the one coming into the cosmos. Hence Jesus, having known that they were about to come and to rob him and to show up him as regent, he flees again into the mountain, he alone. But when evening had become, his learning ones descended onto the sea. And having stepped into a ship, they come beyond the sea into Capernaum. But the dark down took them, and not yet had Jesus come to them. Besides, the sea was thoroughly awakened due to the great blowing wind. Hence, as having rowed about 25 or 30 stadia, they behold Jesus walking on the sea, and coming near to the ship, and they were made to fear. And he says to them, I am he, fear not. Hence they came to take him into the ship, and straightway the ship became to be led on unto the earthland, which it encountered by running aground. The other day thereupon the throng perceived those having taken stand beyond the sea, that not another boat was there, except that one into which the learning ones of Jesus had stepped in, and that Jesus had not come together with them into the ship, but his learning ones alone came going away in it. Hence, the ships having come on out of Tiberias, and being near where they also ate bread the day before, during the giving thanks of the Lord, and having perceived that Jesus was not there, but also not the learning ones, they stepped up into the ship and came into Capernaum, seeking Jesus. And having found him beyond the sea, they said to him, Rabbi, when did you come here? Then Jesus answered them and said, Amen, amen, I say to you, you do not seek me, therefore, since you perceive signs, but since you have eaten out of the bread and were satiated. Work the food not that being wholly loosened away, but that abiding into aeonian life, which the Son of Human gives you, for him the Father, the God, sealed. Hence they said to him, What should we do so that we may work the works of God? Jesus answered and said to them, This is the work of the God, that you may faith into the one whom he has dispatched. Hence they said to him, Which sign do you, yea, you do, so that we may perceive it and faith in you? What do you work? Our fathers ate the manna in the desolate region, according so as it having been written, Out of the heaven he has given them to eat. Hence Jesus says to them, Amen, amen, I say to you, not has Moses given you the bread out of the heaven, but my Father gives you the bread out of the heaven. For the bread of God is the one descending out of the heaven, and the one giving life to the cosmos. Hence they said to him, Always, Lord, give us this bread. Hence Jesus says to them, I am the bread of life. The one coming to me, not, yea, not will he hunger, and the one faithing into me, not, yea, not, will ever thirst. But I said to you that you also have seen, and yet do not faith. All which the Father gives me, coming to me, it will arrive, and the one coming to me not, yea, not do I drive him out. Since I have not descended out of the heaven so that I may do my will, but the will of the one sending me. So that regarding all which he has given me, I may wholly loosen away not one out of it, but I will raise it up in the last day. For this is the will of my Father, that everyone beholding the Son and faithing into him, may have aeonian life, and I will let him rise in the last day. Hence the Jews grumbled concerning him, since he said, I am the bread, the one having descended out of the heaven. And they said, Is this one not Jesus, the son of Joseph, of whom we also perceive the Father? Hence, how does this one say, I have descended out of the heaven? Hence Jesus answered them and said, Do not grumble with one another. Not one is able to come to me unless the Father, the one sending me, does draw him. And I will let him rise in the last day. It is as having been written in the prophets. And all will be taught of God, everyone hearing from beside the Father, and having learned, comes to me. Not did it happen that someone has seen the Father, except the one being from beside the Father. This one has seen the God. Amen, amen, I say to you, the faithing one has aeonian life. I am the bread of life. Our fathers ate the manna in the desolate region and deadened away. But this is the bread that descending out of heaven, so that anyone who eats out of it, also he will not deaden away. I am the living bread that having descended out of the heaven, so someone eats out of my bread, he will live into the eon. The bread which I will give for the life of the cosmos, that is my flesh. Hence the Jews quarrel to one another, saying, Hence, how is this one able to give us his flesh to eat? Hence Jesus said to them, Amen, amen, I say to you, if as it were you do not eat the flesh of the Son of Human, and drink his blood, you have not aeonian life in yourselves. The one chewing my flesh and drinking my blood has aeonian life, and I will raise him up in the last day. For my flesh it is, and truly is the drinking. The one chewing my flesh and drinking my blood abides in me, and I in him. According so as the living Father dispatched me, and I live because of the Father. Thus also the one chewing me, also that one will live because of me. This is the bread descending out of the heaven. Not is it according so as the one the fathers ate and deadened away. The one chewing this bread will live into the eon. This he said in the synagogue, teaching in Capernaum. Hence, many out of his learning ones hearing said, Hard is this word. Who was able to hear this from him? Hence, Jesus knew in himself that his learning ones grumbled concerning this, and he said to them, Does this ensnare you? So if you behold the Son of Human as one ascending there where he was before, yea, the former time, the Spirit is the one making alive, the flesh not, yea, and not one thing does it benefit. The talks which I have spoken to you are spirit and life. But out of you are some who do not faith. For this cause he, the saved guardian, had perceived from the origin beginning who the faithing ones are, and who is the one being about to give him up. And he said, Therefore, I have talked to you, not one is able to come to me, so if it is not as having been given out of the Father. Hence, out of this occasion, many of the learning ones going away came into the things behind, and walked no more with him. Hence, Jesus said to the 12, Do not also you want to go away? Then Simon Peter answered him, Lord, to whom will we, as going away, come? You have talk of aeonian life, and we have faith, and have come to know that you are the Holy One of God. Then Jesus answered and said to them, Is it not I outchose you 12, and out of you one is a diabolos? But he said it regarding Judas, who was a son of Simon from the Iscariot, for this one was also about to give him up, being one out of the 12.